Hi. If you've received this email and video, it's because you've uploaded backstroke data to your memberships. And I need to just explain something reasonably simply, I hope, as to a change we've made that you might have seen. Now, this really only relates to anybody who's looking at their force versus time chart. So you can see here this force versus time, the waveform that I've got up here. And firstly, I'd just like to thank Matteo Restivo. Matteo Restivo is an Italian Olympic swimmer. He's just been in Paris, swimming in Paris. Unfortunately, didn't medal, but, you know, kudos to Matteo for getting to Paris in the first place. And Matteo very generously agreed for me to use his data to be able to explain to you the changes we made. So like I said, this is for people who are looking and who have looked at their force versus time chart because we've made a change. And you might have picked up the change and gone, what the hell's going on here? So I thought I'd make a short video just to explain what we've done and, most importantly, why we've done it. We've done it because we had a mismatch in how we present data between freestyle and backstroke. And it's to do with the lateral direction. In freestyle, the rules for reading the lateral force on the force versus time chart are very simple. When the lateral force is positive, it means that the hands are facing outwards. And when the lateral force is negative, the hands are facing inwards. Now, stupidly, when we released the backstroke charts and view, we incorporated the reverse into the algorithm, i.e., when the force is positive, instead of being outward facing, the hands were inward facing. And when the force is negative, vice versa. So we wanted to change this so that it could then be clearer and be more consistent with all of the strokes, because I think it's important that, you know, because when you've particularly got people doing multiple strokes or they're doing medleys or whatever, they should be able to use the same foundation, the same basis rule for all strokes. So we have flipped the lateral curves the other way now, and we've done that with all the existing backstroke data. So we've been able to isolate and identify backstroke data. We've been able to apply the change in the algorithm. So what you might have seen is your old forces looked one way and then they've flipped now and it looks the other way. And from now on, it will continue to be like that. So I thought I'd just show you quickly here exactly what I mean. So when I look at Matteo's old data, and this is one swim from Matteo back on the 15th of May, and excuse my incredibly poor form because I'm not a backstroke swimmer. I tried it once and almost drowned. But as you can appreciate, where the hand enters the water, the first move is that hand has to come around. And what's interesting for me is in freestyle, that first move at the end of the glide is the hand goes down. Well, the backstroke equivalent is the hand swings round laterally. So where we look at that first downward force profile on freestyle, in backstroke, the first force movement is a lateral one. And as you can see, that hand is moving facing outwards. And whereas in the old system, this negative force was reflecting the outward force of the hand, and then at the back end of the stroke, where it's positive, was reflecting that hand coming in just before it exits. That's now been flipped. So if I show you this exact swim, this exact data, today you'll see Now, the first lateral force is positive, not negative, which means it's outward facing. And then at the end of the stroke, it's negative lateral force, which is inward facing. So it's not a huge change, but some of you might have picked up the fact, and you might be looking at your data and scratching your head and thinking, I was sure that was going the other way before. What have I done? You've done nothing. We've done it. So like I said, we've applied this change to all existing data. So that's flipped the other way, and all future data you will see presented like this. So it will be consistent with each of the other strokes in terms of hand facing whilst ascertaining your lateral curves and interpreting your lateral curves in your force chart. So that's it. I am going to make one more video which will be sent to everybody in our database, not just people who do backstroke. So please keep an eye out for that, because that will come separately, and that will be some analysis on a backstroke stroke in itself and some of the things that we can see in that stroke. And so it'll be a good one for you to, particularly as your backstrokers, it'll be particularly good, I think, for you guys to look at that, to maybe see what you can pick up from what I can tell you. Thanks very much for listening. Ciao.